But first, once again, the so-called experts, they are dead wrong. The second quarter GDP numbers are in. They exceeded any and all expectations spectacularly. The U.S. is now growing at 3% for the second quarter, outpacing inflation. Consumer spending is up. Jobs are up. The unemployment rate is down. The stock market is breaking records, and inflation now hovering right around the target goal of 2%. Meanwhile, major trade deals, one after another, rolling in every single week and breaking tonight as we come on the air. President Trump announcing a huge new deal with South Korea that includes a $350 billion investment inside our country right here in the U.S. And yet our economy is still heavily weighted down because of one person, the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, who simply flat out refuses to lower interest rates like most of the rest of the world. He's keeping them sky high. It hurts every borrower. It's hurting the country, but especially first-time home buyers or those wishing to build a home or those wanting to buy a bigger home or another home. They can't because they can't give up their 3% 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. America's housing supply is virtually frozen because of Jerome Powell. Sales of pre-existing homes stalled, new home construction stalled, all because of Powell, who seems to have nothing but antipathy and hatred for President Donald Trump. Just today, he announced that there would be no cut at all, not a full basis point, not a half a point, not a quarter percentage point, nothing. He is fixated on blaming Donald Trump's tariff policies for his decision to keep rates high, policies that are paying off spectacularly. In the month of June, for the first time in 20 years, we had a budget surplus. Look at all the trade deals, one after another after another. Anyway, take a look.
Total PCE prices rose 2.5% over the 12 months ending in June, and that, excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.7%. These readings are little changed from the beginning of the year, although the underlying composition of price changes has shifted. Services inflation has continued to ease, while increased tariffs are pushing up prices in some categories of goods. Near-term measures of inflation expectations have moved up on balance over the course of this year on news about tariffs, as reflected in both market-based and survey-based measures.
All right, according to Powell, you have to forget what's actually happening right now, disregard all the current inflation and the growth numbers, and ignore every trade deal now with South Korea, Great Britain, the EU, China, others, Vietnam, Indonesia. By the way, and Australia will be importing American beef for the first time since mad cow disease. You know, just look into his crystal ball. In reality, based on this chart put out by the White House, the United States is home to some of the highest, look at that right there, highest interest rates in the world. Great Britain, UAE, Australia, Canada, China, all have lower interest rates. In fact, our interest rate is more than double the current rate in the Eurozone, more than 8 times the interest rates in Japan. So what is going on here? Frankly, I'll make it simple. It's time for Jerome Powell to resign, get out of the way. As a country, this is causing hundreds of billions of dollars in higher interest rates for our government alone. That means you will pay that bill. He clearly subscribes to Chucky Schumer's magical way of thinking, a guy who thinks that these strong economic numbers are nothing more than an illusion. Take a look.
And while the Trump administration will try to wave rosy headlines about the Q2 number, today's GDP number is in fact a mirage, because some ominous numbers lurk under the hood. Donald Trump's tariffs are weighing down the U.S. economy, spiking costs for small businesses and families alike. And if Donald Trump keeps up the chaos, the dangers for the economy will continue to get worse.
Same guy that said the border was closed and the border was secure. Same guy that said, oh, Joe is vigorous and he's not in cognitive decline. The same guy that said inflation is transitory.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.